Nope, you went dark. Stop that.
There we go.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fabulous. Thank you for yesterday.
Oh, you're welcome.
Massively
No,
appreciate it.
no problem. No problem. So,
Bree, your hair, that's hilarious.
Bree, I love the hair.
That's awesome. It's so pretty. I can't hear you, but that's okay. No,
Oh,
there you go. Now I can hear you.
okay. I'm saying it's my new hair.
There you go. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So anyway,
You were blonde yesterday.
Yeah, I
yes.
was blonde yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they say blondes have more fun. So I'm assuming you're not gonna have any fun now.
Yeah, I'm tied down now. No, I'm kidding.
Do you find people treat you different as a blonde?
I did. And then I went into work last night with this on.
Hmm?
And it was so interesting. They thought I grew my hair out.
Really quick like that too,
Mm-hmm.
overnight. Like it's amazing what African American hair will do.
I totally should have said that to them.
That is so funny. I noticed because I've been blonde, dark, red, silver, all points in between. And as a blonde, people are always like, "Let me do that for you, honey." Like,
Right.
guys will like, and like, but the whole implication is that's too hard for you, right?
Right.
With white hair, silver hair, because my hair is naturally like almost completely white. When I go that color and go completely natural, everybody takes everything heavy out of my hands. Like, let me put that up there for you, or let me, carry all your groceries out or whatever. And it takes me a little while to realize that, because, you don't see your own hair, that, oh, that's what's going on. All right, all right, all right. So I was only blonde for a short little time because it doesn't really work with my skin color, but it was kind of nice. I was like, sure, you do that. I'm fine with that.
Sure.
That's right. I'll go do whatever. I heard a sidebar the other day, and I thought was kind of interesting. Then we'll dive into some stuff. They said that Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars was supposed to be the evil Sith Lord character. And so the conversation started swirling around this about, because people hated him. I don't mind him, but people really hate him. And I'm like, well, you can't really have the evil Sith Lord character stepping in. He steps in dog do or bird do or whatever he steps in. Who knows, right? But someone's like, can you imagine if he would have been that goofy, I don't know anything that's going on. I'm really goofy, but really was evil. How scary is that? And then somebody else said, yeah, because he could turn around. He could be like really, miso what he is, and then turn around and say something to me. And I'm like, oh, it could be so much more subtle than that. He could be that goofy thing. And then when someone walks away, he could just narrow his eyes and give him the evil eye, right? The evil stink eye. I'm like, that's creepy, scary. That's like terrifying, scary that somebody could be that way and then turn around and really be completely evil. So, all right, one more story, and then we'll dig in. So I got all my stuff together and everything yesterday morning to pack it all up, and I had my stack of notebooks or notepads with all my stuff written on it of, highlighted, like, make sure you do this while you're gone, do this while you're gone. And on the other side, I was also like, you haven't had a vacation in a while, take a real vacation, walk away, just walk away, right? And then last night when I was pulling everything out of my computer bag, I realized I don't have any of those notebooks. I didn't bring any of them. They're still on my desk. And I'm like, I guess you are taking a vacation and walking away. So this is what I have to write on. This is it. If it doesn't fit on this, it's not getting done. So anyway, so here's what I thought would be kind of cool to dig into. I was doing a little research this morning on Scott McKenzie. And Scott McKenzie, I love this guy. He's super interesting. So he worked at Hallmark, and he was very much a nonconformist. And he was always kind of like a malcontent, didn't really fit in with the pastel, paisley wearing older ladies, young ponytail, and just kind of, deadhead t-shirts, that kind of thing. And they didn't really know what to do with them. So they told him, they said, you're just in charge of creativity. And he was like, what the hell is creativity supposed to be? Like, I'm the charge of creativity. What is that? And they gave him a desk in the basement. And so he made himself a title, and it was something like creative paradox or something like that. Gave himself a title. and the CEO of creativity or something like that. And then everybody that came into his office, he said, look, we're looking for, ideas and, if, or complaints or whatever it is that you guys have, but come on in my office. And so everybody that came in his office over the following year, all he did was they would kind of pitch whatever cool idea that they thought of or whatever. And he would go, you know what? That's amazing. We've been thinking about doing that also. Yeah, we're going to greenlight that one. You go for it. Right. And over that year, he completely transformed the culture of Hallmark, and he wasn't authorized to do any of that. None of it. None of it. He was like, that's a really good idea. That we've been thinking about that. You should do it. And so he greenlit every single idea that came across his desk, all of it. And he empowered the people to do it. I'm like, that's awesome. So he just thinks really kind of differently on how he addresses things and what he does. Another time he was trying to get was a great divide between the CEOs, the corporate and the creatives. And he didn't know what to do to kind of make people understand there's a huge divide here. And what corporate thinks is going to work for creatives is not going to, and vice versa. But we got to come in the middle and figure this thing out. And he realized that nobody would listen to him because he was just, Gordon down the hallway. So he completely showed up. They put a keynote speaker on. I forget what the guy's name was, a keynote speaker. And he showed up. He had shaved off his beard. He had a wig on, and he was dressed completely different than he normally dressed. And he did a huge keynote huge keynote presentation where he really kind of went after corporate and creative and really called out. He, supposedly he worked with 1,000 greeting card companies in this big, huge conglomerate, all these smaller companies that were very, very profitable. And what he'd learned working with these 1,000 different companies, and then took off the thing to reveal the deadhead shirt and the wig, and because they could hear him when he didn't look like himself. So again, it's just another way of getting people to kind of think differently. And here's a different experiment that he did, which I loved. So this is the one I thought we'd do. So he put all of corporate together. Corporate hated their corporate meetings. They hated them. And so he put everybody together in corporate. And then if he just had them start shouting out everything that they hated, all of it. He's like, just pour it out. So I thought it would be kind of interesting and counterintuitive and strange to just go through, and I only have this little tiny bit, so I got to take little tiny notes to go through in real estate and just like, what are the things that you truly hate? Like, what are they? All right, so let's hear it. So mic's off. What is it that you hate?
Hate as far as real estate, or hate as far as qualities that I don't do?
Whatever part of the business you don't like.
I hate open houses. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, love.
Hi, Anna.
Hi. Sorry, I'm kind of losing my voice.
Again, are you like me? If I have stuff going on in my life, this is where it hits me. Hits me right here.
Oh my God, always.
Always.
It's like the peak of things. I can be totally fine. Everything's good. And then boom.
This is how I know if I'm not getting enough sleep, because it hits here. And I used to think I'm never sick. This is just where, this is like my early warning sign is right there.
So true.
Yep. Okay. So
I'm right there with you.
Yep. Open houses. What else we got?
I hate people who drag their feet. I can't take it.
You hate people that drag. Oh yes, the psychology of it all.
Yes.
Like, dude, here are the facts. That part, like when the facts are there, they're like, but what about? It's like, dude, after the 10th time, you're like, really?
Yeah, exactly.
I hate the follow-up calls. Like we've talked. We told you.
Oh my God, yes.
I hate the follow-up. I really do. I'm like, I don't even know what to tell you anymore. I've told you all the stuff. Like now I'm just like, And so I finally, well, never mind, not answers right now, just what I hate. I hated the follow-up calls. I don't even mind.
I hate that they will consider their in-law's sister, who's not a real estater, who used to be in real estate 20 years ago, as an
Yep,
expert on the market.
yep. My sister's an agent. Yep,
Or was an agent.
yep,
And it's
exactly.
like,
In another state, a long time
in
ago.
another state, right?
And didn't sell anything. One house, maybe, but yeah, let me
Or
listen
the
to.
news told me, and it's like,
Yep.
really? Are they living in your house? Are you trying to live with them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do they know your finances? Yep. All right. What else? This is really good. This is really good. What else you guys hate?
I hate the ones that have no intention of purchasing or selling real estate, but they always have some type of real estate related questions. Scenarios and all that bullshit.
All right. So tire kickers?
I don't even know if you call them tire kickers.
Yeah.
Because I have a classmate, and he'll call and he was like, "Hey, I was watching this show, man, and on there, is this true?" I'm like, "Man, stop watching the damn shows.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?"
So help me put that into a word so I can write that down. So I'm trying to think of what to call that. It's the people, hey,
Energy suckers.
I can't have that on.
Yeah, good one, Liz.
Energy suckers.
Energy suckers.
All right.
And I'll add to that and say, same
Wanna
with
say hi?
people in your sphere who want to just, suck all the energy out of you to give you all the information they want regarding what you're doing, but have no intention of either taking action or anything, or using you if they decide to take action because they've gotten what they needed.
Love it. Yep. Yep. I get those with people too. I get them like recruits. I get that too, where I'm just like, really? You have no intention of ever coming here and you just want me to suck all my time because I love you so much. And I do, but like if you have to come to me for all this stuff, just come here.
Right.
Yep.
I have a friend who went with Keller Williams for the support. And she's always calling me, and I'm co-listing her house.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm like, literally, there's no one in your office you can co-list. And I get it, but she can't get hold of anyone.
No.
I was like, and you went to Keller Williams for what?
Oh, another one of my favorite ones. Like they have better training. And then a year later they leave.
Yeah.
So, but again, that's on the agent side, not on the real estate side. So what else on the
sorry.
No, you're fine. On yours, it makes sense. On mine, it doesn't, because I wanted to focus on my real estate side of this. What else? The agent on the other side that can't control their client, this used to make me nuts. And also the agent that gets their feelings hurt. Like, why the hell do you have feelings in this situation? Like, knock your feelings off. They don't count. That's not your job,
Yeah.
Lenders that say they're for the community, but as soon as they get a client where you have to explain their credit score, they're like, send them back.
Lenders. Let's just say lenders.
Yeah, lenders. Because I'm just like, I have one lender, and she's an amazing wealth of knowledge, and she's got the highest certification that you can get with the lenders that only like 1% of the lenders have. But literally, if I send her a $1 million client versus a $100,000 client, and a $100,000 client's credit score is like borderline, she sends them back.
Yeah. Like do just a little bit of work.
Right. I was like, okay, so her credit score is borderline. What does she need to do to get it up?
Right.
She's like, oh, that's just not my job. And I was just like,
ooh, oh, so she cherry picks the best, and that's it.
yes.
Okay, got it.
I'm going to add to that and say that I hate when you have to walk people through their part of the job.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you ask, you know, whether a CMA or an appraisal is appropriate, you know, for certain situations, and they're like, oh, you don't need one. I already gave you a CMA. Yeah, but there's a difference between the two documents, like the two things. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
the fact that I might need to explain that to you is problematic in my in my mind. Or that I have to, you know, slow you down to remind you what the next step is in the process. It's not let's rush them to the finish line and the closing table because I want to get paid. That really irritates me.
Right.
I hate the ones where they can't make a decision without someone else,
Yes.
and the someone else is not even a part of the transaction.
Ugh.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
Quote unquote friends who use other agents. It's not like you hadn't been in touch with them
Right.
and
Mhm.
then come to you for questions.
Right.
Yeah. When you've
Yeah.
already signed with your other agent, why are you
Right.
talking to me? I had a neighbor that used to do that.
I literally told
Constantly.
a friend of mine, I was like, you know, the fact that your agent doesn't know this and that's basic MLS information, this is why she's getting paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
And I left it at that. I was like, she can't even look up that, like, I'm done.
Yep.
Love you dearly. Go to your agent.
Yep. I can't legally talk to you anymore. Well,
Right.
but can't legally talk to you anymore. Like you signed with this person, you need to talk to this person. Well, can you just
Right.
tell me why my house won't sell? Yes, but I can't.
Right.
Right. I
Reminding them
can,
of
but I
that,
can't.
they put themselves in that situation. It wasn't me. It was you. You
Right.
made a decision,
Yeah.
and I'm forced to have you live with it. So
Yeah. Yeah. You made a decision. You can remake your decision, but right now that's the decision you made. You
Yeah.
know, so you stuck me in the corner. So there we go. So, all right. All right. Anybody else got anything else? Or we got a pretty good list here. All right, I'm going to go back through our list and you guys shoot more stuff out if you come across it. So hang on. So open houses, people who drag their feet, people who, suck my real estate energy and aren't listed with me or whatever, or just wasting my time. People cannot make a decision without getting somebody else involved that's not a party to this. My sister's an agent, my brother's an agent, my friend's an agent, people who watch the news and then come back to you with that advice. Lenders who cherry pick their stuff and won't do any of the work for it. Energy suckers. When the other party is not doing their job and I have to walk them through that. Following up on, follow up. These, what does this note say? These are mine. I should be able to read my own stuff, right? For me following up and when the other agent has a bunch of feelings, oh my God, stop that. And when their friends want advice and they've signed with another agent. Okay, out of those ones, which one, and it can be different for every single person, but which one is the one that you're like, I hate this the most? This is like the one I hate the most.
People who waste our time, I would say.
Time wasters. Okay, got it. What else you guys got? What's the next one, y'all?
What was the last one that you said?
When friends sign with another agent and they want all your advice after they've already
Yeah.
signed.
That one. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That one, and because it's a time waster. Like, it's great that it reaffirms that I have the skills, but you didn't see that.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Initially, but still feel
Yeah.
comfortable enough to try and get me to, no.
Yeah, and you didn't honor that. The fact
Right.
that, yeah, there's nothing there. Liz. Do you have one? Sorry for the stupid, I don't know if you guys can hear it. I certainly can because the AC is right there. But anyway, yes.
I don't know. I think I agree with what's been said already.
Cool beans. Okay. Dutch isn't there. So, all right.
Now, you know what I'm wondering?
What?
If we're doing this on Monday night when everyone was there, I wonder how many of us would actually be dissuaded from pursuing real estate.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty dang funny. It's fun to have like the reality check. So here's the second part of this though. So as not to have everyone dissuaded, is what can we do to be able to make this so this isn't the thing that we absolutely hate? So in the case of well, let's just go with this. We sort of have a we have a theme here. Anna, Craig, Bree, Liz have a theme here. Mine's really following up with people, but your guys is when they list with somebody else and then they want to waste your time getting advice, or they're never going to pull the trigger or whatever, but there's no, they just want to waste your time. What is something that can be done that we can do in our businesses or somehow, or something so that we don't have to deal with that crap? Because I hated that too. I hated being not, I felt like you sort of didn't honor our relationship, which is, that's okay, but you didn't trust me on some level, but now you do. And that really bothered me. Like, why are you trusting me now? Why do you trust me for advice, but not enough? Right. So what can we do so that that is not a thing that we ever have to deal with those feelings again?
Well, I think I could have done a better job at my value in the front end. Like,
so tell me more about that.
So, but her question she's asking me that have reaffirmed that she should have gone with me, but it's too late. Have those addressed either in the beginning or my listing presentation. Just I need to go back through at some of the things that conversations we had that she's like, oh, like I could tell she was like, that agent is not as strong. Because she actually told a mutual friend that he was like, well, why did you get the information from Bree? And she's like, oh, her ethics. She would never cross that line. But it's too late now,
Is it?
Well, not necessarily. And I think she's not gonna, I keep telling her she needs to shit or get off the pot.
Right.
So I don't think she's gonna get off the pot anytime soon. So this agent doesn't have I don't want to say she's not a newer agent, but she's not used to dealing with the psychology of difficult buyers. And I've known her for a while, and she's putting up with a lot more than I would have. This agent is. She's letting my friend run her ragged.
That's the agent doesn't have control over the client.
Right.
That's a huge one. It's huge. Whenever there's a problem, I never went back to the client on the other side. If there's a problem with my client, we had like a serious, like, we're not going to have problems. Or I kept the problems between me and my client, so they never showed on the other side. But if there's a problem with the client on the other side who's not my client, that's me with the problem with the agent.
But I'm going to say something to that too, Brianna, because maybe it's a gift to you that she didn't go with you, because maybe it's not, doesn't have anything to do with you showcasing your value appropriately. So then she wants to be in control and she is really looking more for someone she can puppeteer rather than someone who can get her through this transaction. And, I've come across that in a couple of places, and I will hands down put boundaries on it and say, this isn't going this way. And if you need to be working with somebody else, I'll find you somebody else, because sometimes their motives are different. They really don't, it's not that they don't see your value. It's that they want to still be in control of the process, and they can't run you the way they may be able to run other agents. And
I think that's a good point too, Liz, is in knowing your value, knowing your boundaries, and being okay with that.
Exactly.
Because
literally
with her,
lens.
like a year ago, I was like, oh, I'm about to fire this client. But she fired me first. And you're right. I think it is a blessing, because I I'm not, I've set some boundaries. Like I have no regrets about her not being my client.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that I've grown into.
So
Right.
is this the one you were talking about that's getting your advice? Is this the one that fired you a year ago? Same
Mhm.
person?
Mhm.
Oh, wow. That's a whole nother dynamic there.
And I've had that situation with a friend of mine twice. She bought a home after
Mm.
sucking all the energy and information out of me. She bought a home with somebody else. And then years later, maybe 7, 8 years later, she sold another home and then purchased another home after sucking all the information out of me and then going with somebody else. And that's when I said, okay, I'm done. I just kind of closed out and distanced myself from the whole relationship at that point, because it was just, there was more toxicity to it than there was,
My father-in-law was super toxic also. And he's in the painting new construction, but he also did repaints. And when people are painting their house, generally they're going to do it to sell, not always, but often. And I referred tons of business his direction, and he never referred anything my direction, ever.
Mm.
And it was this constant thing. What it really was he's an awful, horrible, toxic human being. I mean, he's just poison. But I didn't realize it at the time. But I do remember sitting down with him one time and going, how much business have you gotten off me? Well, a ton. So do you not trust my work? Like, what the hell's the problem with you? And we had that talk, and he was at least he had the wherewithal to be, embarrassed about it. And then he started referring people after the fact. Hey, so-and-so listed their house. I wanted you to know. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with you anymore. Like you're
Mhm.
And wanted you to know after the fact.
After the fact, he started doing that. And then, but really the answer for that situation was, you need to get out of my life. And he's out of my life, which is a much better situation. But the other one with friends, for me, because it made me crazy too. And it hurts. Like, damn, what are you doing? And so I finally just started that whole thing. Like I said, I can't talk to you legally. Like
Yeah.
you put
Right.
yourself, I can't talk to you.
And for
Like,
me, it was twofold. It was that, and it wasn't the expectation that she go with me, but at least the opportunity to earn her business. And she didn't even give me that opportunity to earn her business.
Right.
right. So do you not
Right.
trust me? Like
You're
with that?
right. And
No,
so
this
I was just kind of
conversation
like,
with Larry. Yeah.
we're not in this relationship for the same reason. So it was kind of like, we just need to.
I will say this, when I did help him, was buying a house and selling his property. This is after the divorce. I got a huge eye-opening thing. We were walking into a property and I'm like, the very first property we're going to go look at. And I'm like, listen to me, their home, the owner's home, and I don't have a key box up there. So we had to only go in places that either, we could get in some other way or the owners were home. And I'm like, do not say anything. Like, keep your mouth shut. Just don't talk, don't say anything, because anything you say, you're going straight into the seller's ear. We won't be able to negotiate. I want to be able to negotiate on your behalf. Shut up. And the man is just right. And he walks in and he cannot not to do this. He starts telling the guy, I own my own company and I'm the king of the car shows and I have half a dozen of these really good cars. Look, I won first prize here. And all the guys I can see it in his head. I'm just looking at him with my jaw open. I just told you to shut up 2 seconds ago. And the guy's like in his head, ching, 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 ching. So he loved the house, it had like a 6-car garage or whatever, made the offer, and the guy immediately came back with more, right? And when the offer came back, I mean, as soon as we walked out, I'm like, you're not getting the house. And he's like, but I want it. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm telling you, you're never getting this house. Like, this is going to be a negotiation nightmare because you did not keep your damn mouth shut. And sure enough, the guy came back with a stupid, ridiculous price, right? Of way, way overpriced of what the house is worth. And he didn't get the house. And I'm like, shut the hell up. But through that transaction, and I got a different agent to list his house, I'm like, I never want to deal with that nightmare. Like, they're a reason they're a nightmare. You know what I mean? Like, ugh. Anyway, and the guy's house did not sell for that price. I think he had to come down something like 80 or 100,000 to get it to what it actually did sell for. I mean, that's how far out of the ballpark we were. It was nuts, absolutely nuts. So anyway, sorry, I need to get off of that rant. I think for me, the thing that really helped me the most was just drawing a very strong boundary afterwards. I can't talk to you. And if I had an agent's like an employee, And they would go, yeah. And I'm like, and if I have an employee I don't like, because you can't tell them in Washington State, you need to fire your agent. Here's how you do it. Like you cannot, but I can reference it as an employee and I can get you to kind of open up. And then if you don't want to fire your bad employee, that's on you. That has nothing to do with me at all. That's your being whatever you are, So what do you guys want to build in so you guys don't have to deal with it again? That was just mine.
Firing them quicker.
Oh, I like that. I really like that. Firing your clients a lot faster. I've only fired a few, but
yeah, like Liz was saying, it was a blessing, but the writing was on the wall, but having enough confidence in myself and my business that I don't have to
bam.
Have my energy sucked.
Bam. Okay, hang on. What gives you the confidence in you and your business to be able to kiss off basically or fire $10,000 paycheck, $15,000, whatever the paycheck will be? Let's say 10K for easy math. What gives you the confidence to be able to kiss off?
So it was after the fact that I realized. I wish I could say that it was like everything leading up to it. But literally hearing her complain about her other agent and some stupid stuff her agent did, I didn't tell her I thought it was stupid. I kept my mouth shut, but I was like, I'm a pretty good agent. So it's after the fact, the lesson learned was my confidence.
Yep.
Like I'm not going to, because I lost other clients, one from her time and two from the energy she sucked out of me.
Yes.
That I couldn't give to building my business.
Yep.
Replacing that with an easier client. I could have closed 2 clients at the time I spent with her and I got nothing.
Yep. So that's absolutely. So you came to the realization that you are a really good agent, and then how much time that was really worth, that 2 versus 1.
Yeah.
Yep. I think, does anyone else have something that gives them the confidence to be able to fire that client? Or is that the answer for you? Or is there a different answer for you? So you don't have to deal with that stupid situation ever again. Anna, yeah.
For me, I dealt with that once. It was a friend of mine. She had gone and used another agent to buy a house. And that agent messed up royally, called me when they were about to close, asked me a bunch of different questions. It didn't really bother me. I didn't let it get to me, to be honest. It felt like she had betrayed me, yes. But I just let it go. And I was like, okay, whatever I could do to help, that's no problem. And she had to sell her other house, and apparently she had tried to work up something with the other agent, and the other agent had already told her she would give her a rebate when she's selling the house. But because of me like walking through her stuff when she's about to close to give her advice and blah blah blah, not advice specific to the transaction per se, but just overall information, she ended up wanting to list the house with me. For me though, it didn't bother me at all that it did. I can't say it didn't, but I let it go. And I just thought of it as, maybe that person doesn't want to disclose their financial situation to me. Maybe that person's going through something, and for some reason they just feel like, let me go with someone else. Maybe they feel embarrassed about their credit score, or maybe, there's something. So I just I let go of it. It didn't really sit with me for a long time. For me, the ones that really bother me are the ones that come into my life quite a lot more often. Like this was one transaction out of like dozens in the last few years. So if I'm thinking of it from that perspective, I could easily let go of it. But the ones that really suck me dry are the people that either don't have intentions of buying, don't have intentions of selling, or just purely wasting my time. And I think one thing I can do to circumvent that would be to handle, I feel like maybe do like more upfront work
Mhm.
to where asking a lot more questions to determine their motivation before starting the time consuming process. So I feel
Mhm.
like I feel like a lot of it comes back to me. Maybe I'm just not doing a good enough job of vetting these people out before I give them my time.
The
So
prequel, the whole prequel.
yes, it's not just the prequel, but also sensing their motivation. Like it could be
Yeah,
that they have a prequel, but
not financial. I mean, the whole process of prequel.
yes,
Yeah, that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is definitely something I need to strengthen for myself because I just find that I'm spinning around in circles, chasing things and doing things that are just sucking me dry
Mhm.
from the more income producing activities with well-intentioned people or
Yeah.
so I feel like that for me. But Bree, love, I'm sorry that this happened with your friend. I would just let go of it. I would just be like, hey, whatever. I think Bree's probably not listening, but it's okay.
She's there.
She's right
I
there.
can hear. I have my earphones in.
Okay, all
Ah,
right, sounds good.
oh,
Yeah, I would just let go. I like, it could be that the universe is trying to protect you from the toxicity of dealing with your friend and
Yeah.
just let go of it. I don't know. It just feels like it's doing you more harm than it is doing you good.
ultimately,
Yeah.
is that the best anyway? When there's
Mhm.
hurt and things like that, is to let go of that hurt right there, and then figure out how if there's a pattern, figuring out if one, is there a pattern? And then if there is a pattern,
Right.
is my fault in my part in this pattern? And then how do I change that if I don't like this pattern?
Right. And I think, like Anna was saying, one, I have let it go and I learned a lot from it. And she respects my boundaries, I think, more than she did before. But I also, like Anna, I need to do a better job at qualifying them ahead of time, like their motivation. And I think if I'd done that, I was so excited to get the listing that I didn't do my due diligence.
I remember when I came across that in my career, and when I finally realized, because I like to move fast, so I'm very much a like boom, 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 done, 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 and
Mhm.
get it listed, get it this, get it that, get it sold, get it, get through closing, get it whatever.
Right.
And I realized that spending time up front, and someone told me, and it took me a while to actually believe it, but they're like, if you will spend every extra hour you spend up front, it's going to save you 10 hours on the back end.
Mm.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
The other thing I've been trying to build my muscle on here in this space, because it relates to what we're talking about here, is when you talk about pre-qualification and talking with your sphere or, people that you just, prospects or whatever you met. Sometimes it's just kind of reminding them when they reach out to you,
Mhm.
what the motivation. I get it that you like me, and I get it that you like conversation, you like the information, but all the reaching out and energy sucking activity needs to be kind of minimized. So once you get that like pre-qualification done, the motivation done, and try to nail it down, I've begun leading my follow-up responses and conversations with them from that space. Kind of this is what we last talked about. Are you reaching out because you're ready to move forward in this area? And then just kind of giving them a landscape of like who else I'm not who else, like where else I'm servicing people scheduling wise, so that they don't think that I'm just sitting around waiting on their call to like, do something type of thing. Just kind of like my time is precious, so to speak, and
I'm at
kind of
work.
couch it in a gentle kind of way that I'm not here all day waiting on you to give me a call so that we can talk about all the things, because I know you like me. I mean, we've got a relationship. I know you like me, but this is where I'm at with my activity at this point. So unless it has something imminent, in your situation that we need to address like right now, we may need to table our conversation till a later time.
You know, you just reminded me of something, and that's when I started having my my buyers, especially when I was still working with buyers, having them tell me, kind of walking through what an ABC buyer is, and then where are they, and then walking them through what that means. Like A means you're completely ready to go 1,000%. You find a house today, we're writing today, and you need to have a house. Like you need to move within 30 days, 20, 10, whatever it is, right? B is if you find the right house, you'll make the offer on it. It'll probably be a decent offer, but you know, it won't be like, oh my God, I have to be in something. And C is we're really just in the process of checking things out. And then once I know where they are, once I know where you are, that's great, because A means no matter what, we drop the phone call and we run, like, because we need to get you in a house now. B means after my A, we take care of you next. So you're right next in line. So you get a ton of good help and assistance, but you're not urgent, desperate. And I have to take care of my urgent, desperate. And C means when I have those things done and I've got a little bit extra time, or maybe on my drives in between, looking at people like that, or, you know, showing people whatever my A buttons or whatever, I'll reach out and give you back a call and circle back around with you. Which one are you? And then that helps me immensely, so that, and it helps them too, because they need to know, like, you're a C. You don't get to suck all my time 24/7. I don't have it.
There's nothing wrong with being a C. You're still on the list, but it's just you're not at the
Yeah.
top of the list, and that's okay. And I'm trying to convey that with grace so that they can have kind of like the landscape of what's going on, the prioritization of things. It's not like jilting you. It's just
No, it's like their,
it's not good now.
yeah, or their job. I'm sure they have urgent stuff that if they don't drop everybody else and take care of whatever urgent fire just came across the desk, which happens on occasion, it's not
Right.
common. Once in a while, there's a flipping fire, and you don't answer the phone call unless it's from your kid thinking it might be an emergency. You know,
Right.
you let it go to voicemail so that you can deal with the urgent fire, because you can get back to that.
Right.
And
And
give
sometimes
them
it's
the love they
telling
want.
them, I'm assisting a client, I'm assisting someone who needs to close quickly. So if we can, we can table this till whenever, I'll be available after this date and time. And I've just kind of left them in the pipeline, so to speak, but tried to find the language to phrase it gracefully so that they're not like, I can't believe it didn't return my text. I can't believe it returned my email. I can't believe it returned my call. It's like,
Oh,
well,
Excuse me.
Yeah.
like,
Excuse
Yeah.
me. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. What you got, Dutch?
Oh, I just coughed. I said, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm on my phone. I can't. I don't know how to mute it on my phone.
Oh, all right. No
Oh,
worries.
wait a minute. There it is. There it is.
Okay. So anyway, so you guys are reminding me, which is a really actually good reminder, and I'm trying to figure out how I can take this and turn it into the recruiting side, but also, which I think I can, I just got to figure out how to phrase it, of digging more into motivation, because that relates out directly with that, and really spending that time up front. And then having people kind of, qualify of, when are you thinking about making this move? Because if I have a limited amount of time, but if I've got somebody that they've got 10 listings and they need to get over like right now, like I need to take care of that person. And if you're not that person, that's totally cool. I just need to know where you are in the process. And if they're talking to me, it's okay to have that conversation, because hell's bells, you're talking to me. It must be something, you know what I mean? Or if you're never ready to come over, you just want to know what we're all about, that's cool too. I got no problem with that. Just where are you in the process?
I love that, Gina. I feel like I'm gonna always do that now, because one, it gives them an idea of where they're at. It's like a self-identification mechanism. And it also helps you figure out how to prioritize your time. I love that. I love that for agent attraction, and I love that for clients.
Yeah.
So thank you, my love.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you. Because you guys reminded me of it, like massively worked me back through it. And I think that will help with my follow-up calls also, which is the problem that I had, because I never know what to say to somebody, but I'm also not sure where they are in the process. And if it's my fault, if I hate it and it's me, I'm the common denominator. And if I don't know where you are, like I thought you were ready to jump today, clearly I was wrong, because you did not jump today, well, then that's cool. Like, you tell me. I actually have taken a few people. I did this beginning of the week, I think. I sent off a thing that said, like, look, I don't want to bother you. Like, if you don't want to be bothered, that's cool, but I'm not going to sit here and bother you if you don't want it. So, it seems like, you're I didn't say you're ghosting me, but I haven't heard back from you. You're not seem to be responding. I don't want to be bothering you anymore. So I'm just going to let you go. Let me know if that's not the case. And they never responded back. Okay, cool. You're off my books. And why was I hesitant to let those people go? Because underneath it, like Brianna said, is the lack of confidence underneath it. Well, why is that? Because if you don't know where the next one's coming from, then there's a problem. Well, do I know where the next one's coming from? Ish. Not as much, because I'm not as in control of it as I was with real estate, with what I was doing. But that's what's underneath it. So then there's the other thing, like Anna said, of just letting it go. This is not the right time or the right person or the right place or the right whatever. And it's okay. There's another one. And maybe the other one will take less time because they will be the right person. And again, that's okay. And the right person's there. I just have to go find them. And when it's right for them, it's right for them. And it's fine. So dang, you guys helped me a lot today. Massively. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad I could help.
Ditto.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So pre-qualing, having our people set up where they are, their A, B's, or C's, being willing to let go gracefully, and knowing that, and now it's the blow dryer. Good Lord, he's loud in the morning. Man. And just having that pre-conversation up front to set expectations of who they are and where they are, and having them pick it so that we can help them, and it can help us with, are you on fire? And maybe I need to let people know, look, if you're ever in that situation, like if you tell me you're a B or a C for coming over as an agent, if you're ever in that situation where you're going to list a house tomorrow, but you want to make that move and jump, I need you to text me and let me know 911, and you will move to an A. I think that's be a good one to put into this conversation also. Or the same could be done with a buyer or seller. If you find yourself, like right now, you're saying you're a B or C, and that's cool. But if you find that you're suddenly an A, like just text me 911, and you'll literally, like, I will drop everything and make sure that I'm calling you instantly. So that I would feel loved if someone told me that, like, you're a B or C. But if this changes, you just text me this, and I will drop everything for you immediately. That feels fair. Yeah. All right.
I like
Cool.
it.
I do too. It feels real too. And I just want to be real. I don't like faking or dancing around it or pretending to be something I'm not. Like, I just want to check and see how you're doing. I don't like what you're doing. I want to know if you're damn ready to come over or not yet. I'll pour into your butt once you're here.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Okay. Anything else, you guys, or any other thoughts or whatever?
Yeah, I think for me, not only setting boundaries, but I need to get all of my my systems and just being prepared, so that I when you're prepared, you're even more confident. So I think for me, that's a biggie.
Yep. I think for me, when I was able to fire clients easier, I only fired a few. There were lots that were on thin ice though. So it's not like I didn't have, only 3 clients that gave me problems. There were quite a few on thin ice that I was just like, one more step in your toast, man. But I think the key for that was I knew how to go get business, and I knew that I would have 4 appointments next week, and I knew that I would list a few houses out of those 4.
Almost done. Click the continue to installation button and follow the instructions.
I knew, I
And-
just knew you're part. I don't need you. I want to help you. That's a different situation than I need you. I'm desperate,
Yeah, and that was part of my problem, because of, I haven't had so much a problem of letting people go, but I didn't capitalize on that either, because even when I let them go, I should have been, what's up, man? I should have been referring them out, because these are people that were qualified to buy, you know, mainly on the buy side.
Right.
But yeah, I should have been, I should have had somewhere else for them to go, and I still could have got paid in the end.
Yeah. I did know a girl named Leah, and Leah would, she'd work really hard to get them, and then she wanted to fire all of them. And I was like, there was a pattern there. And I'm like, as soon as it got to be a real gargantuan pain in her butt, she was like, all right. And I'm like, don't you dare. Like, you get through with some of these, honey. And then you figure out why your clients turn into, nightmares 3 weeks in. Like, you need to have figured out that conversation, but she was way too willing to fire. I'm like, no. You can't be that willing to fire. But there really is a confidence. And then like you said, Craig, there's a way to do it right. And there's a way that that you've got, like, yes, you're a $10,000 check, or when I was doing real estate, whatever, you were a $5,000 check, but it doesn't matter. You're still a big check, right? You're a $5,000 check, but there's 4 more $5,000 checks behind you next week. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose yours, but it's not going to kill me. So, all right. Awesome sauce. All right, you guys, have really, really good weekends. I will see you guys. I think I'll see you guys on Tuesday. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Yeah, that I know I can do. Okay. All right. Okay. Have a great
Love
week.
you guys. Have a blessed
Love you too.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.